Soham, and if you're new to this channel, don't forget to smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is your daily BTC news and daily market wrap up. So, the last 24 hours have been rough, to say the least. It has been rough, guys, not only for cryptos but for overall markets as well. Traditional markets like the stock market, everything has been going down. So let's jump on straight to the charts and find out what are the details and what are some of the latest news that are coming out. So at this point of time, as we can see right here on the charts, the total market cap is down more than 8%, guys. The total market cap is down more than 8%. It's coming at about $2.17 trillion, right? And Bitcoin is down by more than 7.5 percentage points. It's currently trading at about the $43,000 mark. Ethereum pulled back by more than 10%, as you can see right here, and BNB also pulled back more than 7.5%. If I have to talk about some of the biggest losers in the last 24 hours, let's take a quick look on that. The biggest losers have been Sushi. Sushi lost more than 17% in the last 24 hours, followed by Axie Infinity, which lost close to 15%. Theta Network lost close to about 16%. Tezos also lost about 15%, and so on and so forth. So all the protocols, right, all the major tokens which have been gaining, right, all of them have been, they are all correcting right now. But things are not all dull, right? If we look at the last, the last 24 hours, the tokens which have gained, there are a few. Which are they? Let's take a quick look. Decentraland comes in. Decentraland is up by almost 3%. Then there's not much in the first 20, in the first top 100 tokens, right? What is the reason for Decentraland rising so much? We will come to this at a later point of this video, but let's first jump on to the Bitcoin charts, and I want to show you, there are a couple of concerns, to be honest, right? There are a few concerns that I am bothered about. Currently, as I mentioned, Bitcoin is at about the $43,000 mark. And guys, if I quickly pull out the EMA ribbon right here, okay, this is not a good picture, guys. As you can see, we are below the weekly EMA ribbon, right? This indicates that we might enter into a bear market on the weekly time frame, which is not a good sign. The bottom ribbon of the weekly is coming in at about the 43,867 at this point of time. We still have, guys, about close to 3 days, a little over 3 days for the weekly closure. What I would like to see is Bitcoin to close above 43,867 minimum on the weekly time frame. Why? Because if that happens, we will still have the closure of the candle above or inside the EMA ribbon. Now, we had multiple times in the past the wicks closing below the ribbon. That is absolutely fine, guys. There is absolutely no problem whatsoever with that. As you can see, back here in August of 2021, we closed multiple number, couple of weeks, three or four wicks of the candle actually closed below the weekly EMA ribbon, and it was completely fine. Here also, back in about November last week, we closed the wick of the candle below the below the weekly EMA ribbon, which is absolutely fine because we got a pump and we got the body closing above the EMA ribbon, which is absolutely fine. So for this particular reason, I want the Bitcoin price to actually cover up about $43,800 and close above in the EMA ribbon. Now, there is something very interesting that is happening on the Bitcoin charts, and there are amazing similarities, guys. If I have to say the least, right, there is amazing similarities. For that, what I need to do is I will go to the daily time frame right here, as you can see on the daily time frame, and we'll do a quick measurement, guys. Okay, we'll do a quick measurement. We'll just close this EMA ribbon and we will focus on some of the timelines that Bitcoin has been following, and it has been following amazingly, right? If you have been a regular viewer of our channel, you would remember, right, back in April of last year or May of last year, I was actually telling you guys that this correction that we happened back here, right, when Bitcoin came all the way down to about $30,000, I was expecting this to be a pullback of, the duration was expected to be around 6 months, right? But luckily for us, it lasted only 3 months, right? But right now we are again seeing a similar pattern, and the timelines are amazing. Okay, if I do a quick measurement right here, as you can see, the dip from the first dip to the second dip. Okay, pardon me for the lines in the chart, guys. Okay, if you can see this very closely, right, if you can see this, I'm not too sure if you are able to, but this is about 34 days. Okay, this is about 34 days, as you can see, 34 bars right here. Okay, amazing similarity, guys. If we do a measurement of this fall from the current one till yesterday or today, it is about 32 days or 32 bars. So what can we learn from this? Bitcoin, look, if you have to read patterns, then this is a clear pattern that we are seeing here. Okay, and there are multiple theories which says that there will be 3 weeks or 3 times Bitcoin will test this support of 42 or 41,000 or $40,000 before going up. Now more will be shared about that on the video that we will release later on today, where I have actually discussed about some of these patterns and why Bitcoin actually corrected. If you want to know why Bitcoin has corrected, go down to the comment section and comment BTC. Just comment BTC, guys. Okay, and I will prepare. I have already shot it, but I'll share it as soon as possible. Now, coming back to the news part, right? Why has Decentraland, pumped so much? One of the major reasons, guys, is because Samsung, right? One of the major reasons is Samsung has opened a store in the Decentraland Metaverse, right? So if you go through this article, you will find that Samsung has currently opened a virtual store on the Decentraland Metaverse. It plans to give away some free NFTs as well. If you want to read more about this, do let me know by commenting below, and I'll share this particular news article on our Telegram channel as well. Now moving on, there's not too much of a news, but again, coming back to the Bitcoin prices and why the Bitcoin price just dropped, there has been a certain speculations going on in the US market that the Federal Reserve is going to increase the interest rates. Now, since March of 2020, the Fed has actually been reducing or cutting down on the interest rates. This has led to huge money flow, not only into crypto but even in the Indian stock market as well. That is why we see the Indian stock market has just blasted past all the previous all-time highs, and so has Bitcoin and a few other traditional markets as well. Now the Fed actually plans to increase the interest rate. Now understand what is going to be the the repercussions for this. What is going to be the effect? Now if the interest in the US is going to get higher, then the cost of capital is going to increase. Now I don't want to be too much technical right here, but by the cost of capital I mean the money that one is borrowing from the US and putting it either into Bitcoin or either into the Indian stock market. The cost for that particular capital is going to be is going to increase, and that is the reason why we have seen not only Bitcoin dump, right? Bitcoin dumped below $43,000, to be honest, right? And also did the Nasdaq, because as you can see, the last 5 days Nasdaq is down more than 3.5%. It's close to 4%. It was down by the Nasdaq, right? Which is the stock market of the US, one of the leading stock markets of the US. But please understand that if we are seeing this kind of increase in the capital, this is absolutely on the cards from the fundamental side of things, right? And the Federal Reserve actually plans to increase the interest rate sometime around March, and when the announcement comes, guys, when the announcement comes that the Fed is finally increasing the interest rate, okay, now they have said they are going to increase, but when the announcement comes that they are finally increasing the interest rate and this is how it's going to be, so it's going to be very, very difficult, and Bitcoin is going to plummet, guys. Okay, please be ready, please invest the amount of capital that you can afford to lose. Okay, so this is about it, and many people are saying that because of the Kazakhstan unrest, people, the miners could not power their mines and the machines, and that's why the hash rate dropped. But I checked out the hash rate, and I have covered this in the video also, which I have shot already. I will publish that video in about some time, but that is the main reason. I don't think the hash rate has dropped phenomenally. There are news that people in the US are buying the rigs, which means there is more focus on the US going into the there is more focus in the US as far as the mining is concerned. Now, this for me personally, I don't feel this is, this is good. Again, now we are believers and supporters of decentralization, but if the focus shifts from China to the US, now yes, the US is much more liberal than the Chinese counterparts, but then again, we are centralizing the mining authority in the US. Now, if let's say if any black swan event happens in the US, then again the miners are gonna and they are gonna suffer, and the Bitcoin hash rate will again come down. What I want personally is that the mining should also be distributed across the globe, so there is no centralized authority, and that in my sense will be true decentralization. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Stay blessed, stay happy. This is it about the daily news update. Thank you so much for joining in, and trade very wisely. Bye bye for now.